Should you be going on a second date with a man who asked you to split the bill or split the check? That is the question we're going to be answering today. Hello everyone, I'm Anna Rova. I'm your feminine embodiment coach and someone who's helping you attract better men, committed masculine men. And I don't know why, but I need to share this with you, is I am absolutely without makeup and my face is all red and stuff, and usually I put on my foundation and I love my makeup, but I had a skin needling session today and I just had a coaching call. I've told my clients, and I'm recording this video for you because I had a really important message and I can't put any makeup on and I don't care. This is me. I'm coaching women into being raw and vulnerable, having no masks. And so if I can come in front of 40 women on a coaching call, I can come on YouTube or on the podcast. So I'm coming to you from my bedroom and helping you answer this question, because I got this today on my coaching call from a woman who said, I went on a date and with a man that I really liked, and at the end of the date, he asked me to split the bill. What do I do? Really great question. So here's what you need to do. You need to answer this question. How did it feel in that moment when the man asked you to split the bill? Most of the time, women would say, it didn't feel good, I felt frustrated, but I froze up and I didn't know what to do. And therefore I was like, okay, so now he wants to see me again, but it doesn't feel good in my body to continue to do this because I want to feel taken care of. And I really like when a man pays for dates or takes care of me, plans it and takes me out. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're the same type of woman. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pause this video and text. That's why I got my clients to do, so I think it's a really great exercise, and we laughed about it and it was great. So here's why you need to pause this video and text right now 3 guys that you're friends with, that you're close with, your brother or whatever. Just text them this question: who pays for the check on the dates? That's it. They can reply, oh, absolutely the man, or they can reply, oh, you know, we split the check or whatever. And then your next question is not go to a conversation, but ask why. If he says, oh yeah, we split the check, why? Oh yeah, absolutely the man pays, ask why. Let me know in the comments what comes up, and I'll tell you at the end of this video what was the response from most women, because as I talk for another, hopefully 5-7 minutes, you'll get some replies, because these guys, the women on my call, they got replies right away, which were very illuminating, doesn't matter. While we're waiting for the replies to come back, I want you to start to get aware of something really important that's happening today in society in terms of gender roles and who pays for what. Because I have a group coaching program where I help women start to attract different kinds of men, committed masculine men. So when we do this work, this is all internal work. One of the biggest aha moments for a lot of women that I work with is actually understanding the masculine journey, creating or starting to develop a lot of empathy for what men have to go through and what men did not have to go through, and what is their belief system about women, how were they raised, what are the messages. And so it's kind of like how I look at it. It's like either an onion and there's multiple layers to it, or like a cake. So I think a cake is a really good analogy, because like a layered cake, there's a lot of layers to this. I'll talk about the 2 sides. One of like how I work with women is when we examine our belief system about men, we go deep and we do a lot of excavation, like why are you attracting emotionally unavailable men, for example, or why are you attracting guys who want you to take charge, or why are you attracting whatever you're attracting in the moment, because it's all a mirror of you. We go deep and we start to excavate and ask the questions, right? How did I grow up, right? What models of relationships did I see in terms of masculine, feminine? How did mom and dad work together as a relationship, as marriage, and so on and so forth? What did I see around me as models of relationships, right? My own story is that, you know, my mother passed away when I was really young. I was 8. I was left with an emotionally unavailable father, and everything I saw around me was broken marriages. I saw men who cannot be trusted, who left their families, who were playing that masculine, healthy protector, provider role. And I learned early on that men can't be trusted. And so that created my reality, that created my belief system. And of course, on top of that, my trauma of losing my mother and so on and so forth. And then my dad remarried, as it is, to an evil stepmother who was also emotionally abusive and physically abusive and so on and so forth. And so, you know, all of that influenced my reality of men and my belief system of men. And guess what? You go out there, you start to date, and then you continue to look for evidence where that is true, where men can't be trusted, where men are cheaters, where they're pigs and swines and so on and so forth, right? That relationships can never work, that marriages end up in divorce, blah, blah, blah. And then you go into the cultural dynamic, and there's religious factors and culture and social media and Netflix that's showing you, you know, Athlete A and Bombshell and all these men who basically show us that masculinity is toxic. And so when we do this work with women, it's very important work. But what we also do with women is we kind of open up ourselves to the idea, or not to the idea, but to the reality that men basically go through the same thing. So if we flip the coin, and why this is important for the splitting the check, I'm like, whoa, how does this all connect, Anna Rovi? Start talking about splitting the check and you're like, boom, cultural, religions. Well, this is important. Why I'm starting with this is because men have their own reality about how relationships work, what is masculinity, what it is to be a man, what are relationships like, because it's a totally different reality. One client of mine gave me this analogy of cats and dogs, and I really feel like that's exactly what this is. It's like a dog and a cat. I'm not comparing men and women to dogs and cats, it's just a metaphor. So a dog and a cat, they live in the same world, in the same reality, but how they experience this reality is completely different, right? And so the same thing as men and women. What did he grow up with, right? What did he see? What did he think about women? What did his dad think about? How did his dad behave with women? How did his mother feel about herself? And what were her boundaries? What were her standards? What did she allow? And what is that relationship model that he saw as a man growing up? And then you add to his cultural norms or beliefs, the locker talk, the blah, 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 whatever. And so here we come, right, with all of these messages on both sides. Here we come on a date. And the question is, who's paying for the bill? And so why I'm telling you this is because a lot of men today, they ask the question, they're really confused. And we need to understand that. They're really confused with the question of, if I open a door for a woman, is she going to feel like this is not feminism and I'm treating her as not an equal? If I pay for her bill, is she going to think that I'm old school, that this is me being dominant, this is the patriarchy, yada, yada? Or is she going to actually like that? They don't freaking know. That's the first day. And so a lot of men will just pay the bill. And hopefully you've gotten some answers already, maybe not, but when you get, comment. What I heard from my clients today is that a lot of men say, hell yeah, I paid the bill. If my mother would hear this question, she would be embarrassed because of course I pay for the girl that I take out. Some men say I'm old-fashioned. Some men say, if I didn't want to sleep with her or I didn't want to see her next, I would split the bill. I don't know about that, but makes sense, right? So judging by those replies, and if you're watching this video, check out the comments. It's very illuminating how men think about that. My sense is that most men will say, I pay for the day, right? So, but it's really interesting to understand what happens on his side. So for you as a woman, my recommendation would be to not dismiss it. Like there's a lot of women that say, oh, if he asks me to pay and split the bill, I'm out of here. And you can do that, right? For you, it might be black or white, and it's like, nope, I'm out of here. But I would encourage you to not think in these binary terms, black or white, I'm out of here, but to actually understand that some men just don't know. Men are really confused, and you need to communicate to them what feels good to you and what you want. I've written a lot of articles about boundaries with men, that women said this, you said the standard, girlfriend. That's why it's really important to do work about getting to know yourself, what feels good to you and what do you want. Do you want to be courted and pursued? Does it feel good in your body? How do you want to feel in a dynamic with a man? This is the most important question. How do you want to feel? A lot of women say, I want to feel safe, I want to be nourished, courted, taken care of. These to me are signs that you are a feminine essence woman. And so if that's what feels good in your body, and I can tell you that you're not alone, in fact, majority of women would say that. I've asked thousands of women this question, how do you want to feel in a dynamic with a man? And if that's how you want to feel, and if this situation happens, first of all, what you can say, I'll give you a textbook guide, when he's like, let's split the bill, the first question you could pop is like, oh, so you want to be friends? And he'd be like all flattered and be like, whoa, what? Right? So you'd like put him on the spot, the best question. Now, a lot of women cannot ask this question right away because you go into freeze mode. So that's going to take some work and some practice, and you're going to get there, especially if you work with someone like me or you do your embodiment practice, because saying, oh, so you want to split the check is not as easy. You can't just blurt it out or pause this situation and be like, hang on a second, I'm going to go and take out my Matthew Hussey text guide and tell you what. No, it has to be embodied, because otherwise it's fake. Otherwise you're like performing. And so it's okay. This woman, for example, froze and she said, yeah, sure. She split the bill. Now she's at home, frustrated, mad at herself, doesn't know what to do. These guys asking her out again. And so she's questioning, what does she do? And here's what I recommended. First of all, you take that into your body. How does it feel? Frustrated, mad at myself. Can you allow yourself to sit with that? Can you take a breath? And I teach in my program a certain practice that allows you to actually sit with this discomfort. Depth first, structure second. And next you communicate, because you do not know what's happening for this man on the other side. Your job is to focus on you and to communicate how you feel. When you talk to men, you focus on how you want to feel. And so what you communicate to this man, you say, hey John, really loved our last date. Thank you for your time and taking me out. And then you give him the shit. You give him, focus on your feelings. However, it didn't feel good in my body when we did split, for example, when we split the check, because I feel really taken care of when a man takes me out and takes care of the check. For example, state your desire. A lot of men would happily do that. Just happily provide, take care of you. You need to stand in your own truth and learn how to do that. And again, it's a practice. You might not be able to do it right away, but via text or even in the, you can do it via call, just communicate how it felt. Honestly, that's it. Thank you for your time, right? Or like, thank you for listening. And then you see what he responds. If he says, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was the norm, blah, 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 whatever, I'd love to take you out again. Beautiful, let's go. You're setting the standard right from the beginning. If he says, oh, well, la, 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 he goes into this whole defense, like, see how you feel, right? Like when he responds with whatever he responds, if that doesn't feel good in your body, then you're like, okay, well, this is not for us. Trust me when I say there's plenty of men. In fact, I would claim that the majority of men, based on the responses that my clients got, and probably you, will say, of course I'll pay for a date. I'm asking this woman out. I'm going to take care of it. It makes me feel good. Good men, which are in the majority, feel good when they take you out on a date. So that's what I want you to do when this situation happens. Now, who pays? Well, how do you want to feel? Right? And then bringing that forward and communicating that this is my design, this is how I feel. No man can make you feel guilty about how you want to feel. If he goes into this whole la la la, but what about opportunities? And like, this is how I feel. If that's not for you, totally understand. Then that's not going to work. Yeah. So embodying that and really holding that strongly in your body. So I hope this was helpful, and if it was, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this and comment and let me know. If you want, if you're curious, maybe this is your first video, just wanted to let you know I have a whole training, a signature training, where I share my 4-step process into how you can start attracting committed masculine men. I talk a lot about embodiment and masculine, You can go, there's going to be a link below. You can go to claim.com/training and register for that. And I'll see you, girlfriend, on the other side. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time.